This is Las Vegas Vantage with your host, Rocky Dickerson.
Hi, welcome to Las Vegas Vantage. I'm Rocky Dickerson of Realty One Group. Now, each week here on Las Vegas Vantage, we cover not just the real estate of Las Vegas, but we also cover the community, the people that make this such a great place to live. And some of my favorites are here with us once again here today, Vance and Michelle Shepherd. Guys, thanks again for coming back.
Absolutely, Rocky. It's good to be with you again.
Pleasure.
So what we're discussing here is because of Mental Health Awareness Month. If you saw last week, what we were discussing are a lot of the aspects of mental health awareness, why this is becoming such a huge issue in today's society. Today, we wanted to come back and cover some of the solutions, some of the ways that you can work on improving your mental health and your well-being on a total body scale. So, gosh, I just don't even know where to start here. Michelle, tell me about, I know we were getting a little bit into the nutrition last week. Tell me about the role that nutrition plays in mental health.
Oh, nutrition is a big one, Rocky. It's one of the biggest things because we are our bodies. We are what we are putting inside of our bodies, and we are products of our environment as well. So when we've got so much chemical overload, it can cause a lot of neural toxicity. So our brains aren't working correctly. We're not firing on all cylinders, so to speak, because we've got so much going on inside of our bodies. And last week we were talking a lot about inflammation markers and how inflammation markers actually raise things like depression, anxiety, stress, OCD. And so people that struggle with that, one of the ways that you can really combat that is by lowering inflammation in your body. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. One of the main ways, Vance would even agree with this, I'm sure 80% of what you eat, what goes in here, is going to be determining where your inflammation markers are at. Gotcha. And so one of the things that we always like to talk about, we have a really great nutrition program that shows people day to day, meal to meal, how to lower those inflammation markers. And Vance, I'll let you talk to that because you're so good at leading people through that program.
Well, for me, it's like teaching group classes, 20, 30 people in class 3 days a week, even 40, 50. I would see people over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and their body composition is not changing, even though they're showing up for a workout. And like I said last week, is that 80% of is what we eat is how we're going to be, where our health is going to be. So I had a passion for this. I was like, man, I got to figure this out. I got to help these people out. So found this elite nutrition, and it's been a game changer for people. I mean, man, they're getting on this, and their inflammation markers are coming down. And so I don't call this a 21-day reset. I call it about educating ourselves how to eat for the rest of our lives. See, there's these fad diets like intermittent fasting, not eating carbs, just eating meat, these kind of things. They're not sustainable for life. You can't live like that. You may get results right away, but what happens is people get on this roller coaster of losing weight and gaining weight and putting on more weight than than what they lost, and they're on this constant. It has to be sustainable for life.
Sure,
it has to be, and that's what this is, and that's why we've seen so many astounding results from it, and people just really gaining their health back and getting rid of the inflammation, and it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Now, Vance, from my own personal story, I can tell you it's kind of like how they talk about putting the frog in boiling water. If you put it in boiling water, he jumps right out. But if you put him in warm water and increase it a degree at a time, before you know it, you got a boiled frog. Well, I was that boiled frog. I mean, I was doing little things here and there that I didn't realize over time were creating changes in my body. You talk about inflammation. I had a huge problem with that. In fact, now that I've actually gone on to the nutrition and working out and all of these solutions, I actually just recently hit the 40-pound mark that I've lost in 79 days. So what you're talking about is highly important, because all I had to do was get back to where I'd started from. Like you're talking about, eliminating the inflammation and eliminating some of that toxicity in my diet. And then, of course, working out. Tell me about the role that you find working out plays, because, you know, I do like cardio, but I also do some of the muscle training. What do you feel is more important?
They're both extremely 50-50. So we got to have cardio and we got to have strength training. See, strength training after the age of 30, our bone density starts to die off. The only thing that changes that is lifting weight. You have to push weight. You have to push weight. Whether it's a full body weight, whether it's a full body workout one day and then the next day being cardio, and then weightlifting and cardio and switching that out. If it's a full body, or if it's a split routine where you're doing like bicep and back one day, and then the next day you do legs, and the next day you do shoulder, and you're rotating this. Getting on a system and switching it up is key. But you got to have cardio too. You got to get the cardio in too. And the biggest mistake people make is, once again, back to what they eat, when they eat, how they eat it. People will go into the gym and they'll take my class for an hour, and I ask them, well, what'd you eat for breakfast? Well, I had a grapefruit, or I had cereal. Well, what happens is their blood sugar spikes in about through the second, like a warm up and then legs. Halfway through the legs, their body starts to eat their muscle to get through the workout.
Ooh, ouch.
That's not good.
I can imagine.
See, it's about living in homeostasis mode. You have to eat a protein, a fat, and a carb right here to keep your blood level like this. If you eat a carb and a spike, and then it crashes. Our body eats through that sugar like this. We need the fat and we need the protein to balance out our blood sugar. Mm-hmm. It's all about balancing your blood sugar. And once people learn that, once people get recipes and understand how to enjoy the foods that they love, that's when it's going to be a game changer.
Right?
And balancing your blood sugar also directly affects your cortisol levels. And we know that your cortisol is the fight or flight hormone. And when you have elevated cortisol in your body, now you've got inflammation, you've got depression, you've got anxiety, and it leads to all of those other things that we're talking about with Mental Health Awareness Month.
And if I can bring up one of the fears that I know some of the people watching have got right now, because I used to have the same fear, is that when I eat healthy, it's going to be bland, or I'm going to feel bloated, or I'm going to get tired of it. It's going to get monotonous. I got to tell you, ever since I went on to that 21-day reset, which, by the way, I didn't stop at 21 days. I kept it because I love it. I'm just finding this energy that's surging through me and a vibrancy. I haven't felt this good in over 20 years.
Yep.
So definitely, I mean, this is something that can easily be done. I'm getting the ingredients. I'm not going to a special store. I'm getting it at my local Smith's. It's easy to stay healthy and keep right on track, don't you think?
Absolutely. And just going to the store and reading those labels, man, if it has more ingredients there than what you know they are and all these, don't buy it. And something brilliant is to get for free, just go online. It's called the Yuka app. You can literally scan anything in the grocery store. It's got a carrot is the logo. It's a carrot. It's called Yuka, Y-U-K-A. You could scan the barcode and it will tell you the percentage of 1 to 100, how good it is. And that includes hair products, face products, your foods, everything. And and the reason why the FDA can't shut it down is because it was made from another country. The FDA would shut that down if it was from the United States because they want to sell that bad food. You know, you talk about Cheetos and all the bad things that's in these foods that people are eating. Michelle could speak on that.
Oh, for days, for way longer than we have time in the show. But yeah, and he's right though. You know, just having a little bit of education. And here's what's so sad. It's really not people's fault because we are not taught this in school. Mm-hmm. You are not taught that you need a protein, a fat, and a carb every time you eat to balance your blood sugar. We're not taught that. You have to go out and seek the information. You have to basically become a nutritionist to understand how food works. And this should be something that we're taught in school as little kids. We should know this, and we don't. And the sad thing is that people are out there, they're working full time and then some, and they're trying to raise their kids and they're busy. And so, you know, it's hard. And that's why we want to provide something for people that gets them plugged in. It's so easy. It gives them recipes. We show them exactly how to do it, and it becomes a lifestyle for them, and it's a win for everybody.
Sure. In fact, you know, I was actually just listening to a radio show one day, And this woman that was working in the hospital was being interviewed, and she was talking about microbiomes and the role that sulfates play in our digestion, and how things that we weren't really, as a general public, aware of have been affecting how our body is assimilating food. Now, you've done research on that, right?
Oh, there's been so much research. We actually, we've done a lot of research, and we follow a doctor. His name is Dr. Sean Talbot, and he has just done so much different nutritional science. He was a nutritional biochemist from Rutgers, and he lost his brother to suicide as well. And it was when he was studying all of the different things that food can do for your body, and looking at the effects of saffron and palm fruit and lychee and all these different exotic fruits and the different medicinal things that they have in them. And he actually has formulated nutritional holistic products that will help you not only with your physical health, which they help dramatically with, but they also target mental wellness. And so for people out there that might be on a medication, you know that is a vicious cycle, because when you get on one prescription, you're going to take it for a while. You're going to all of a sudden start having weird symptoms that you don't even know are related to the prescription that you're taking. And you go back to the doctor, and then they're prescribing you another prescription, and it's a vicious cycle. So if we can stop in the very beginning of that cycle, and we can say, hey, there's some holistic solutions, try the holistic route before you go the chemical route and see if it helps. If it doesn't, you've always got that option. But in my opinion, it's always best to start with something that is all natural, something that God has created, something that He's already placed here on this earth. We're just utilizing it for our health.
And something we think about, the richest people in the world, if they could buy anything, it would be their health, but you can't buy it. You have to understand it. You know, people won't get on a program, or people won't think about their mental health. They won't spend the money, but yet they'll go see a Bruno Mars concert for $150, you know, for the night.
Try $500
or whatever.
Yeah,
the
500.
Yeah, but the health, and they don't realize it until they're number one in the hospital or get a heart attack, God forbid. And they're going through these main things that we have the solutions to. Not us, but, you know, we went through our nutrition certification classes and got our you know, in exercise, fitness, nutrition. And that's why we're so passionate about this. I mean, I was on the road for 9 years prior to Michelle and a band, and I lost half of my band to alcoholism and eating fried foods and heart attacks and everything. You know, it's like, and just going to pot, their body's just literally going to pot, gaining so much weight that it was just like they couldn't function.
Sure.
You know, slept all day, you know, and just died. They just died.
So sad. It's so sad.
So let's talk about some of the specific solutions. Michelle, what would you say are some of the first steps to take if you want to increase your mental wellness?
Okay, that's a great question. Increasing your mental wellness. There's some natural things that we can do. Number one, you have to have sunlight. You have to look at your body like it's a little plant, and it will die unless it has the sun.
Vitamin D.
I tell myself that every day. I'm like, Michelle, you're a plant, so get outside. We need that. We need the vitamin D. We need to soak it up. And so Vance and I try to get out every single morning. Early morning sun is so good, or right before the sun sets, because the rays aren't so bad and you're getting a lot of that good vitamin D. So we try to get that every single day, 15 to 20 minutes. It doesn't need to be a lot, and you need it on your body. So sunscreen and covering it all up, don't do that. Go out there without sunscreen. You're going to be fine. Take some vitamin C before you go out there, and that's a natural sunscreen. You don't even need to
10
put
to 15
on.
minutes.
Yeah, vitamin C is a natural sunscreen.
Also, a shot of kiwi or a shot of grapefruit will, if you're going to the dentist for x-rays, if you're going to be in the sun for a while, that will also
on an airplane
ward off radiation.
Yeah. So radiation effects, you can actually diminish those with vitamin C and some of those other things Vance said. But so getting outside. Another thing is being in nature. When we look at greenery and we look at plants and we look at nature and we look at beautiful things and we get our bare feet on the earth, they call that grounding. Yeah. Grounding is absolutely fascinating. If you've never studied it, for those of you who are like, what is she talking about? Just Google it. There's a whole book on grounding that is so phenomenal, but it really is how we're connected to this earth, and God created this and we're in symmetry with it. And so we need to, put our feet on good solid ground and rocks and soil and grass. Those things are great. Of course, our spirituality, being able to, have that communication with God, be able to have that sense of, man, I have purpose and I belong and I have a mission to do here and I matter and I make a difference. Those are all going to contribute to your mental wellness. There is something that you can do. Now, I always say I can go out and buy all of these different supplements, right? I'll go out and buy like organic saffron and organic palm fruit and lychee and lion's mane mushroom and all of these different things. And it gets very expensive. And you're trying to figure out, well, how much of this do I need to put with that? And do I do a half a teaspoon, but then this one's a tablespoon? And how do I remember? And am I getting too much of something? Like, that's a lot. I mean, that's way overkill. Like, someone like me might do something like that.
We did do that years ago.
Yeah. But for the general public, like, no, they
Amazon loved us.
Yeah. They don't have time for that. And so if you can get something that's already done, that's already got all of the natural things in it that you want, that has no artificial colors, no artificial flavors. It's got lion's mane mushroom, it's got saffron, lychee fruit, palm fruit, all of those good things. And they directly contribute to better mental wellness. And the reason that it does that, it's got all those amazing extracts in it, but it's also got pre, pro, and postbiotics. And so this is going into your gut. And we know that our gut is our second brain. And when your gut can actually produce what it's supposed to produce, which is the feel-good hormones, now you're going to be sending those hormones up to your brain, and your brain's going to go ding, ding, ding. I just felt that. Serotonin, dopamine, GABA, and now you're feeling good. And so we want to make sure that we're nourishing our gut. And one way we can do this is with it's a drink called the cortisol cocktail. It is amazing. People nicknamed it that because it makes them feel happy, because they are getting that chemical balance correct between the gut and the brain. And now the brain is absolutely able to feel all of those. The cortisol cocktail, there's some different flavors, but I'll tell you what, I love my happy juice. I probably have it about 5 times a week. It is so good. I feel so level. If you deal with high stress, if you have a lot of ups and downs in your day and you feel like a roller coaster all day long, this could definitely be a solution for you. And if you are suffering with, any type of mental wellness issues that are not acute to where you really do need to see a doctor. But if it's just something that you're like, it's kind of low to mid grade, and I just feel like I got to get a handle on it, I would say definitely give that a try. Because what's great, it's formulated, the way that it's formulated is that you get graded benefits. So when you take it on day 1, you're going to get benefits. But the longer you take it, the more benefits, because you're adding that good gut flora, right? So you're getting all of those good biotics in there, and then they're going to reproduce, and then you're going to feel better and better and better. And so there's a 90-day money back guarantee, because we want you to feel what you're going to be able to feel like after 90 days. And if it doesn't work for you, it's awesome, because they give you your money back. And
then we talk about children. So many of them are dealing with, they can't focus in school. And I'll tell you, we have solutions for that too, where we've got amazing testimonies from kids that could barely function and get through school.
Yep.
And they get on these solutions, like it's like Pixie Stick that comes. There's also gummies that come, and they're incredible. Remember those Pixie Sticks when we were little, and they were sugar? Well, this is the same type of vibe, but it's about the gut brain connection for children. And Michelle, you can probably tell them about Aura and all the.
It's amazing. Yeah, we have so many customers with kids that have been diagnosed with ADHD and that are having like behavioral problems in school, learning problems in school. They can't focus, rage issues, different things like even, with young ones. And we have so many of our customers that have put our kids on the kids mood and the kids calm, and they're all natural. And it's great because it tastes like candy, but it's not. It's all just the good stuff for you. And I've gotten, pictures of their report cards, and parents are sending them saying, oh my gosh, my kid is a different kid. Thank you so much. Like, we're not struggling anymore. He's definitely more even, and he's able to focus, and he's learning better, and his relationships with kids in school are so much better. And so when you see that and you get testimonials like that, like, I never want to stop pointing people to solutions. It doesn't matter if they ever even use the solution. If I can just be there to point them in the right direction, they can make the decision if it's right for them or not. But with the knowledge that I have, I want to share it.
Exactly. And I gotta say, I have nothing to do with the business that you're promoting. I just want to say it works. I'm not making a penny off of this. It works. It's making my mental clarity so much sharper. My energy lasts through the entire day. And again, the first 79 days that I'm on these products, I lost 40 pounds. I have had such a huge transformation in my body. I would not stop for a millisecond in saying, hey, this is great stuff. This works. It truly does what I've been told other products would do in the decades past. This one actually does. It's great stuff. And I'm so pleased that we're going to have your link at the bottom of this video that people can click on it, get more information on it, because trust me, if you got questions about it, definitely take the time, ask Vance, ask Michelle about it. They'll get you the information on it. This is just phenomenal stuff.
It really is.
Yeah. I thank you guys so much for being on the program and again with me today. Thank you so much for giving me 2 separate episodes.
Oh, Rocky, we're just excited to be here with you, excited to share, what we've learned and what we know. And if we can be a help to anybody in your audience, even with just, simple questions, it's our passion to help people. That's why we do what we do. We feel like, God has given us something very physical and tangible that we can reach into people's lives with and say, hey, this might be a solution for you. And so we're here, 100% for any of your audience that would like to know more.
Perfect. And I hope they do contact you because they will definitely benefit. And we want to thank all of you that are watching this week. Thank you for watching Las Vegas Vantage. As always, should you be looking to sell or buy Las Vegas real estate, please call me, Rocky Dickerson, your superior service agent. I want to do my best job for you. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you again next time.